What's one thing from your past you wish you could erase completely? No, not that embarrassing yearbook photo or the time you tried to cut your own bangs. I'm talking about those moments from a whole generation's past, those collective experiences that shaped an era. But maybe, just maybe, we'd all like to pretend never happened. If you're a baby boomer or even no one, this is a trip down memory lane you might just want to skip or laugh about. Because today, we're diving into the top 10 things baby boomers want to forget. From head-scratching trends to cultural phenomena that felt like a great idea at the time, but looking back make you go, what were we thinking? Ready for this blast from the past? Let's go. 10. The bowl haircut. Ah, yes, the infamous bowl cut. Imagine this. It's the 1950s or 60s, you're sitting in your mom's kitchen, and out comes the mixing bowl. She plops it on your head and grabs the scissors. It's as simple as cutting around the edges of that bowl, giving you the perfect haircut. Who needed professional hairstylists when you had kitchenware, right? For many baby boomers, the bowl cut wasn't just a hairstyle. It was a rite of passage. Economical, sure. But looking at old family photos now? It's the kind of thing that makes you want to tuck those albums away in a deep, deep drawer. It wasn't quite the style statement they hoped it would be, but for many, it was their reality. 9. Dial-up Internet. Before there was the luxury of fiber optic internet, there was dial-up, a connection that made sure everyone in the house knew you were about to go online. Remember the sound? That screeching, mechanical noise that was somehow the gateway to the internet. It was like a robot screaming in pain. And once you were online, heaven forbid someone picked up the phone. It would disconnect you in an instant. Back then, boomers were at the forefront of the internet revolution. But that early experience was rough. Waiting minutes for a page to load, the frustration of slow downloads, the realization that the internet was a privilege you had to wait for. It's no surprise they might want to forget the headaches that came with that early clunky version of the web. 8. Pong, the original video game craze. For those who don't know, Pong was the game. 2 paddles, a dot, and a black screen. Simple, right? But in the 1970s, it was revolutionary. People lined up to play this at-home version of table tennis on their TV. Baby boomers were glued to it for hours, mastering the art of bouncing a pixelated ball back and forth. Fast forward to today's hyper-realistic video games, and Pong feels like it came from a different universe. But in its time, it was mind-blowing. Boomers might laugh at it now, but Pong was a glimpse into the future. Still, it's one of those memories that most boomers might like to downplay when talking to their grandkids about the golden age of technology. 7. Tang, the space-age drink. Remember Tang? Marketed as the drink of astronauts, it was supposed to be the future of beverages. After all, if astronauts drank it, it had to be cool, right? For baby boomers, this powdered orange drink was a staple in households everywhere, but it didn't quite live up to the hype. The taste. Let's be honest, it was like watered-down orange juice with way too much sugar. Kids drank it because it was trendy, but did they really enjoy it? Probably not. Nowadays, it's remembered more for its clever marketing than its flavor. Boomers might not exactly want to revisit the days of pretending Tang was as good as fresh juice, but hey, at least they can say they were drinking 6. The Cold War drills boomers grew up in a world where the fear of nuclear war was very real. In schools, kids were taught to hide under their desks during air raid drills. Duck and cover was the phrase everyone knew. Looking back, it seems almost absurd. Like a desk could somehow protect you from a nuclear bomb. But that was the reality for many boomers. The Cold War brought a constant undercurrent of fear and anxiety that permeated everyday life. While most baby boomers don't talk about those drills much today, they certainly left a lasting impression. It's a memory they'd probably prefer to leave behind, a reminder of a time when global tensions loomed large over their childhoods. 5. Pet rocks. The pet rock. Believe it or not, at one point in the 70s, this was one of the most popular gifts you could buy. For just a few dollars, you could own your very own rock, complete with a little box and breathing holes. Yes, a rock, with no special features or abilities. But somehow it became a massive fad. Boomers laugh about it now, but at the time it was everywhere. People took their pet rocks seriously. You'd think we're talking about some high-tech gadget, but nope, it was literally a rock. To this day, it stands as a testament to how marketing can sell anything. And I'm pretty sure most baby boomers would like to forget the time they got excited about having a rock as a pet. 4. Bell-bottoms. Now, when you think of fashion disasters from the past, bell-bottoms have to be near the top of the list. These flared pants were all the rage in the 70s, and practically every boomer had a pair. They made you look like you had twice as much fabric below the knees as above. Sure, at the time, bell-bottoms were the ultimate in cool, but looking back, not so much. Boomers have to laugh at the idea that this was the height of fashion, and they probably cringe a little when they remember themselves strutting around in these wide-legged wonders. It's a fashion memory most would like to leave buried in their closets. 3. The fear of computers taking over. As computers became more widespread in the 1980s, they weren't just seen as tools, they were seen as threats. Many baby boomers feared that computers would make them obsolete, stealing jobs and changing the world in ways they couldn't control. The idea of a world run by computers seemed like science fiction, or a nightmare. Fast forward to today, and the irony is clear. Boomers now rely on computers for everything from staying in touch with family to managing finances. The fear that once gripped so many now seems almost laughable. Computers didn't take over the world, but they certainly became a huge part of it. Still, it's a fear most boomers would rather forget. 2. The disco-era disco wasn't just a genre of music. It was a way of life. The glittering lights, the flashy outfits, the thumping beats of songs like Stayin' Alive. It was the soundtrack of the late 70s. Boomers danced the night away in platform shoes and sequined outfits under spinning disco balls, thinking it would never end. But then it did. Disco came to an abrupt halt, and many boomers probably breathed a sigh of relief. The memories of boogieing down in ridiculous outfits to Night Fever are fun to laugh about now, but ask any boomer and they'll likely agree. Disco is a phase they're happy to leave in the past. 1. Smoking. There was a time when smoking was simply a part of life. You could smoke in offices, on airplanes, in restaurants, and even in hospitals. Cigarette ads glamorized the habit, with doctors and celebrities promoting different brands. For baby boomers, it was just the way things were. But now that we know the dangers, boomers are probably more than happy to forget those smoky rooms and ashtrays everywhere. While many boomers smoked at one point, it's a part of the past they're glad is gone, thanks to changing health perspectives and anti-smoking campaigns. It's a reminder of how much societal norms can shift and how some things are better left behind. And there you have it, the top 10 things baby boomers want to forget. From quirky fashion trends to the cultural shifts they lived through, it's all a reminder that every generation has its share of questionable moments. But hey, if we can't laugh at our past, what can we do, right? As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next one.